So let's switch to, because we have Jeff Bogard, and Jeff is a great builder. Jeff is REA Homes, I think the premier green, but we're going to talk about what that means, luxury, quality environment home builder in the St. Louis area. And, Jeff, appreciate you coming in, as I said.
Absolutely.
And I want you to join in because I think it might be cool to talk for a few minutes about the whole custom build thing. It happens a lot. There's a lot of custom builders in St. Louis, some better than others, like realtors. But nobody really, we get questions all the time. Nobody knows, well, how do you finance? I mean, it's different than just going to Mudry and having him get a mortgage. You put 20% down, borrow the rest. There's a lot of pieces and parts to it. So I wanted to bring you into that conversation. And Mike, let's talk about kind of the process of financing if you're going to do a custom build. So, Jeff, the very first thing you need to buy if you're going to build a house with REA Homes is?
Well, people get very frustrated if you build a house on somebody else's lot. So
yeah, we've done that only a few times, and it does.
That's a problem.
Yes.
But it's the lot. I mean, you first of all, you got to have a lot that's going to accommodate the house.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So let's assume that somebody finds that lot. Mike, can you just go out? Do you have to pay 100% cash for that lot?
Absolutely
can you
not.
finance
No,
it if
you
there's
can do.
Nothing on
yeah,
it?
You can do lot loans, and usually what happens in the very beginning when somebody's interested in building a custom home, they either own or have identified a piece of ground that they want to buy and build a house on.
And Jeff, you know of lots that are out there. I mean, most of the lots in St. Louis County that haven't been built on are not going to be premium lots. Right?
No, our typical client is looking for us to help them network and find an infill location.
Exactly.
It doesn't, wherever you want to call it, but it's that inner ring stuff built in the 50s and 60s that is functionally obsolescent.
And so they're going to take down a house. I mean, if you want to build a luxury home, let's say east of 141 and probably even 270 and maybe even Lindbergh, the only way to do that is to take a house down that is now functionally obsolete.
On a land loan, somebody's typically going to want 20% down. But on the total package, when you're building a custom home, they're going to take the cost of the ground or the appraised value if you currently own it, okay, and then they're going to take the cost to build and add it together, and usually 20% down or somewhere around there of that number.
Of the purchase of the lot itself.
No, we're talking if you just went and bought the lot first, absolutely.
Right.
20% down.
But it's a good idea to have the whole project planned out, right?
That's right.
So, Jeff, you're going to build a house. I mean, obviously, buy the lot, and that's going to be owned by your corporation, or it's going to be owned by – how does the actual ownership transfer in that?
Typically, it's the client. We reach out and are looking for home sites. At any given time, we've got a small waiting list of folks that have said, hey, we want to build with you, but we know the first step is finding the locations. Can you help us? And so we reach out to people like you, Damien, and try to connect the dots, if you will, for the people. So
let's just, I'm going to throw some numbers out. And, of course, they're just for example and for illustration purposes more than anything else. There's no rules about this. But if you pay, let's say, $300,000 for a lot, the all-in price of your home is probably going to be in the 1 to 1.2 million range, 3.5, 4 times your acquisition and demo cost.
There's demo costs, there's architectural costs, but beyond that, and our approach I think is fairly unique, and it's incredibly front-end loaded. We can give people general rules of thumb based on the square footage that they want.
Right.
But depending on the city or township that you're in, where you found your home site, there are going to be exterior detail requirements.
Exactly.
There that may require more expensive
material requirements.
Exactly.
So much brick, so much.
You got it.
You can't use vinyl and things like that, right?
Right. So you have a situation where we can be building homes, if you want to look at it this way, on a cost per square foot from as little as $150 a square foot to $450 a square foot, and that's driven by requirements that the city or the subdivision may have.
Right.
It's also driven by the client's preference for what they want in their kitchen and, the type of appliances and, level of finish inside their home. So we have this incredibly front-end loaded, very detailed approach to creating a budget before we ever talk about breaking ground.
Right. So, Mike, guy's going to go. They're going to find a lot. Mm-hmm. They're going to engage Jeff's firm. They're going to create a plan to build this, a construction plan over a period of, Jeff, help me out, 6 to 9 months? More or less.
The budget and bid out and design stage is typically anywhere from 3 to 6 months,
right.
And then construction can be anywhere from 8 or 9 months to a year and a half long,
yeah.
depending on the size of the home.
Gotcha. So let's say that you've got about 6. But when someone comes to you, Mike, they're going to buy the lot. You're going to require a 20% down payment on that.
Or we'll just wrap it all into one.
And that's what I'm saying. You want to look at it as finished. So you're going to qualify. You really don't want to get into the situation until you're qualified to finance the entire project front to start.
Absolutely. You'd want to know going into it that if you're going to spend $250,000 to $500,000 on a lot and then maybe spend $1 million or $2 or $2.5 million, depending on, as Jeff said, the finish and the area, the location, you're going to make sure you need to be qualified. In fact, you're going to need to be pre-approved for a permanent mortgage first and then get a construction loan to finance the lot and the construction.
So through that 6 to 9 month construction period, you are funding. There's going to be, Jeff, that's going to be funded through a disbursement company or through a bank.
At least we always do, yes.
So there's going to be progress payments made along the way.
And that's for the protection of the customer, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
And actual ownership is going to transfer at the time of completion. Your company is going to sign off and the buyer's going to sign off that everything is as planned. And then they're going to convert that to a permanent loan, which is kind of a standard mortgage.
That's right. Standard 30 or fixed 15, 20, whatever the customer decides at that point in time.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's taken 9 months, but now they're going to be into a brand new mortgage. It's going to be the lot, the house, all wrapped into one. Now, what are they looking at for rates? Is it going to be any different?
No. It would obviously. What we're talking about here is a larger loan size, so it's going to be a jumbo loan more than likely. But you'd get a market rate,
right?
Whatever the current market is, you'd get it, and so it would be a phenomenally good rate. And again, with the tax deductibility, as we talk about on mortgages, it's a great thing. So,
right. And so, again, if you're thinking about buying or building a house, you're thinking about doing a custom home, there's plenty of opportunities. REA Homes, I think, is the best opportunity in the St. Louis area for a luxury custom, well-designed, well-built house. Call us. Call me, 314-896-0474. Call Mike, 314-503-6024. And call Jeff at 314-400-2119 anytime, day or night, and we'll help you get the process started and help you figure out how to make it come to a peaceful and